Hi, my name is Shai Wosner, and I'm here with Christopher Cerrone, the composer. And we're here to talk about your new piece. You've written a concerto about the weather?
For you.
For me, I suppose, yes.
The first movement is inspired by a poet named Ben Lerner, and there's this idea of ground to cloud lightning. And sort of, and the last movement is inspired by rain. So suddenly I did wind up having a piece where all the inspirations were from poetry or literature about the weather. And I think particularly the notion of uncanny weather. Mm-hmm. And I think you would have to be literally living in a box to not notice the uncanny weather that is sort of happening more and more in our world. Right. But you know, just as like I don't want to write a congestion pricing piano concerto, I didn't want to write a climate change piano concerto. Instead, I think artists observe the world around them and refract it artistically, and that's what I wanted to do here.
Yeah, and I love the title, which is both perfect for the piece and also keeps you surprised because it sounds like it's a very static piece, you know, suspended in the air, so to speak. But actually, what you're saying is so true. I mean, it's really kind of like a force of nature. I mean, the very beginning really starts, it sounds like a gathering, like a hurricane almost. I mean, I don't mean to be too topical, but it's like, you know. Sort of like very energetic, but very ominous, you know. And I mean, in between the two big storms in the piece, there is a middle movement, which is truly suspended in the air. You have this sort of figure, and then plenty of time to hear the resonance of the piano without the orchestra, and all these short figures, right? And so you really hear the instrument itself sort of reacting to its own sound in a way.
Absolutely.
It's really quite a fascinating perspective on the piano sound in that sense.
My biggest interest probably after literature, after music, is architecture and acoustics. And so I think a big part of the way I thought about this piece was putting you, the pianist, into different imaginary acoustic spaces, and especially the second movement, where you hit a note, you play that figure, and then there's just one violin in the back sustaining that high B during the cadenza.
Oh, right.
You know, and so sort of I'm almost imagining rather than a dialogue, I would think it's refraction, and I would think and then sometimes it's true that you're pretty much like leading the show the whole time. But I think of it as kind of a sense of what happens when sounds ping pong across walls. I mean, there's like the Golgambaz in India, which is this famous kind of whisper chamber where you hear a sound and it resonates, you know, for something 20 or 30 seconds. And I'm very interested in how those unique acoustic spaces work, and I try to kind of recreate them musically. So we hope you'll join us on October 27th at 3 p.m. at the 92nd Street Y, a new concerto by me, Christopher Cerrone, featuring...
Played by me. And with ECCO, East Coast Chamber Orchestra making their 92nd Street Y debut, October 27th at 3 p.m.